Greetings and welcome to Disrupt Your Day, Season 3, Meet Your Next Superhero. Women have been starting small businesses in record levels since the pandemic began in 2020. Because everyone's path is different, there's plenty we can learn from women business owners who have been down the road before. So sit back, listen, and let them disrupt your day. Greetings, everyone, and welcome to VisionReady's podcast series. This is the third episode of Season 3, where we talk about starting the year right. My name is Pon Angara, and I'm the creative director for VisionReady. VisionReady is a certified women-owned business helping women entrepreneurs transform their businesses with confidence, grit, and resilience. We help open doors with the public and private sectors for contract opportunities to grow your company's bottom line. And we achieve this by providing business consulting, training, project management, and wellness programs. Our guest today is Sheryl Soukup, founder and president of Soukup Strategic Solutions, providing nonprofit organizations with expertise in fundraising, nonprofit management, marketing, and grants management. Welcome, Sheryl.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here.
Thank you for joining us today, Sheryl. And but thanks again for having me on your podcast earlier, last year.
Thank you. Well, thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah,
you
it was
were
my
fantastic.
pleasure. Oh, well, thank you. It was I enjoyed so much having Joe and of course with your team, engaging with your team. So I'm hoping that this is going to be a long-term tradition of, flip-flopping our podcast interviews. I would love to do more of that.
Me too. You have some great knowledge and expertise to share. So I loved hearing everything that you had to share about storytelling and how to help others understand your your vision and your message. And wow, you really just shared in such a way that was so compelling, but also really engaging. So we loved having you on. I hope you'll come back.
Oh, thank you so much. That means so much to me, Sheryl. Now, speaking about storytelling, tell us more about the origin story of your company, of Soukup Strategic Solutions, and why you founded your company.
Well, I founded the company in 2012, and it was really because I had been working for many years in nonprofits, and I felt like I could have a bigger impact if I helped many different nonprofits instead of just working with one. And I think the other thing for me too was that I had come to a point in my career where I realized that there were some things I was really good at and some things that I was not so good at. And as an executive director of small to medium-sized nonprofits, we're often called upon to wear many hats, and sometimes hats that don't fit us so well. So in starting my own business, I was able to really think about what I am good at and begin doing work that really played to those strengths. And so I found that consulting work was something that allowed me to use my strengths in a way that was very beneficial for our clients and very rewarding for me. And then over time, realized that there were so many other consultants that could do the same thing, and decided that instead of just being a consultant myself, that I would grow a business that kind of matched consultants with nonprofits that needed that special expertise. So that's kind of what we do now. And our business is growing, and it's exciting and wonderful. And while I still love to work with clients from time to time, I find that I do much less of that now, and most of my time is spent building the business.
That's wonderful, Sheryl. And well, first of all, congratulations on the journey that you've been through. And tell us again, how long have you been how long have you been in business?
It's we're in our 11th year, so it's been over 10 years now. Yeah.
Well, you've passed the 3-year mark. You've passed the 7-year mark. So I think that pretty much says that you're going to be in business forever, right? I mean,
I think
that's
so.
how it goes, right?
Yep, I think so. We're here to stay.
Excellent, excellent. So, tell us about some of the things that maybe were like maybe one or two things that stuck with you as you were growing your business that you know is going to be, shall we say, your motto or the social media meme, if you will, that you're going to live by in you know, basically pushing your mission forward, and no matter what happens, that this is going to be you know, your North Star, and it's what everybody in your company, in your staff, and even your clients, this is something that basically just brings them all together. What do you think that is?
Well, I have thought a lot about this, and I think there's three main things. So, first, for our company, I would say that strategy and strategic planning are a huge part of it. It's in our name,
Mhm.
Soukup Strategic Solutions,
Right.
and we do a lot of strategic planning for nonprofit clients. So we talk with our clients about, even if we are not contracted to do their strategic planning, we still talk to them a lot about strategy and planning and utilizing long range planning to help you achieve your goals towards a long term vision. So, you know, if we wouldn't be a very good consulting firm if we didn't practice what we preach. So we do strategic planning ourselves, and we will always do that. It's just a part of the fabric of our company now. It's how we practice what we preach, and it's how we do business. So strategic planning and following that plan, revisiting that plan. And why I think that's so important is that we're really together, creating a shared vision for the future. What is our company going to be like in the future? And for our nonprofit clients, what does the world look like when they're fully accomplishing their mission? What is that vision that they have for the future of their nonprofit? And
Right.
then we set a time frame and say, well, what do we want to achieve in the next few years to make sure that that vision is realized in the long term? And those are our goals. We break that down and into objectives that are measurable, and then we discuss strategy. And this is where the whole company gets to get involved. It's really kind of a fun time where we get to really throw spaghetti against the wall, figure out what sticks and what falls down, and then and then we really, once we have that brainstorming opportunity, then we get to work making sure that we set the strategy for that particular year so that we can achieve those goals, and then measurement. So that the measurement brings me to the next thing, that the second thing that I think is the guiding star for a company, and that's culture.
Mhm.
So, culture in our company is really important, and our culture in our company is made up of many different elements. But the two that are most prominent, and I think are most important, that every single person in the company needs to be able to kind of buy into it, needs to resonate with them. They need to embrace these two elements of our culture, and that is that we are purpose driven and
Mhm.
results oriented. So purpose driven, we're a nonprofit serving organization. And so most of the people that come to our company have an just internal desire to make the world a better place, right? We are organized in order to help nonprofits have more impact in the world around them. So that's our purpose. Our purpose is to help those nonprofits have more impact. So we're nothing without that purpose. And so it drives everything that we do. And I think the second thing is results oriented, and that is really a result of the type of work that we do. We work with nonprofit organizations that get their income, which they use to pay us, from donors. And so they are held very highly accountable to how they use their funding. And so if they're going to pay us to help them build their capacity or fundraise or build a board of directors or train their staff, whatever they're going to hire us to do, there has to be results associated with that. There has to be a return on their investment. They have to be able to see and feel that and report on that. So results for us are really important. And then on top of it, I'm kind of a data geek. So I like to hear I like to hear from our team what the results are and how they know that they're getting the results that they're reporting on. And if we're expecting to get a certain set of results and we don't make it, I want to understand why. And beyond the data itself, like statistics, I also really love the stories. Like, tell me a good story about how
Right.
we achieve those results and why, and what does that mean in real life to real people. So I like
Right.
the story behind it too.
That's awesome. Well, it's great to that you have a passion for both the data and the narrative because they really have to go hand in hand for
Mhm.
one to mean and to have value, for each other. That's
Well,
great, Cheryl. Yeah, go ahead.
well, Pon, I don't mean to interrupt. I just feel badly because I said three things and I forgot to tell you the third thing.
Okay.
So let me tell you the third thing.
Yeah.
My third guiding star is process. So
Okay.
a few years ago, we decided that we were going to really look at the processes by which we operate our business to try to get ready to scale, and embarked upon this long journey to create
Yeah.
process management, so business process management. And we started using a tool that we really love, and it's really driven us to really think about mapping out all the processes that make our business run. And now, as we're entering the new year, we're thinking, okay, where do we have cracks in those processes? What do we need to do to shore up the business in those small ways that sometimes can have a big impact, either positive or negative? So we are in the process of looking at all the processes right now and making sure that where we're missing them, that we put them into place, and where they're outdated or not working, for us,
Yeah.
we address them.
That's great. It's always this continuous um, focus on quality control, no, quality improvement.
Yes,
Control improvement.
absolutely.
Yeah, improvement is a better word than control. Um, well, first of all, Sharon, I love that you gave me this big picture, long term um, a vision of what your firm is all about, the strategy, the culture, the processes. So like you said, part of what you do also day in, day out is you break these things down. So let's break that down let's think about Q1 of 2023.
Mhm.
What is let's focus on just the Q1 of this year. What is your vision for the first quarter of 2023? And tell us, and this is our main topic now, is tell us what are your top 3 priority steps, action steps to achieve that most important goal for first quarter of 2023.
Excellent. Oh, I love that question. Okay. So, going back to those three things that are our guiding stars that really drive us. One, on the strategic plan. So every December we go through strategic planning, and January is the time where we write up the plan and then kind of deliver that back to everybody. So we close that circle, close that loop, and make sure that we're reporting back to everybody. So that's a big plan for January, to make sure that that gets done.
Mhm.
And then we will kind of refer back to that all year, but to create some fun ways to bring that to life throughout the year. So that's really part of what we'll do in the first quarter. And then thinking about processes. So like I said, we're in the process of, reviewing them. So in the first quarter, my goal is for us to have reviewed all of our processes that we've developed, and to finalize the development of any missing policies. I'm sorry, processes, and get them loaded into our business process management software system. So then we'll be doing some training videos. We use a training platform, and we create training videos for new people. So we'll be doing that. And this is all in preparation for onboarding new folks. So we're
Yeah.
growing fairly rapidly, and we have some hiring that we have planned. And so we want to make sure all of this is in place before we begin that hiring process. So by the end of the third quarter, we'll be into that hiring process and onboarding process.
Great.
So those are the top three things.
That's awesome. Well, there's definitely a need for focus that has to begin with even Q1. In fact, that was a blog post that I did just a few days ago to start the year rolling. Is what's the most important thing that as a business owner or as a CEO founder of an organization, that regardless of what the plans are and the tasks will be, what is probably the umbrella, the first thing that we have to, what is the most important skill that we have to exercise during the first few days of the year. And I was sort of grappling with that, talked to our CEO and said, you know what, let's do focus, because I think that gives us a way to make it a laser strategy to make sure that everything that needs to be prioritized is prioritized the right way. So, and I think that's something that we as business owners, a lot of times we need to get all of these things done. And so multitasking or delegating and all that, but sometimes the focus just, and I'm guilty of this, many times, frequently guilty of not focusing. So it's definitely something that I need to do. Sheryl, tell us, what do you do that helps you focus in whatever it is that you need to accomplish?
Well, I would say one way that I ensure focus is to block some time off on my calendar. So when I know I need to focus, I will create a spot on my calendar for that focus time. And I might call it something else. Sometimes it's just called focus time or desk time. But if I know I have to sit and get something done, I will close off all other distractions and really work on that. I find that in the job of being CEO, it's often you're often pulled in so many different directions, and you have a lot of things that you have to do simultaneously, and a lot of things that need to be accomplished in one day. And if I'm nothing, I am a multitasker. But if I want to get my very best work done, I need to sit and focus on one thing at a time. So I can do the multitasking thing, but if I want to do my very best work, I have to have time to just focus on that one thing.
Yeah, definitely. And it's a challenge, because
Yes.
like I said, it's in our nature to check off all the 10 things that are on the list just within the next hour. Okay, I want to be able to, eliminate everything. But so it's a constant work in progress when it comes to that. And I think that we, as business owners and entrepreneurs, we should not be too hard on ourselves, because that's why it's called a practice, and it's a skill that we develop. So as long as we do our best every day. So we're coming close to our time, Sheryl. What are the what is one thing that you would like our viewers to know about Soukup that expresses the most important, the most important, most valuable benefit of working with you and with your team, so that they know that this is what sets you apart from other agencies, from other consultants? What's that bright, shiny object that they can definitely focus on when they work with you?
Well, I would say one thing is we really are laser focused. If we're going to talk about focusing, we're laser focused on nonprofits. So all we do is work with nonprofits. A lot of consulting firms work with for-profits, nonprofits, anyone that comes their way, they can help them. But we specialize in working with nonprofits. And the reason why we do that is that early on in the business, that was my vision for the company. And as I brought people in, again, thinking about culture and purpose, that's who I was seeking, people who wanted to do the same thing, help nonprofits maximize their impact, really do more good in the world. So that's one thing you get when you come to us, is that we're entirely focused on nonprofits. And among the consulting world, I think one thing that we bring is that we're a whole firm full of people with various different skills and expertise. Many at a very, very high level, who have worked in, for many, many years in perfecting their skill, expertise, and craft. So you have a range of people that are working with you that can help in all aspects of nonprofit management and governance. So we have fundraisers, marketing, we have people with expertise in governance and HR and operations, grant writing, so strategic planning. So basically, it's a one-stop shop. You can come to us for higher level consulting services, or you can come to us for outsourcing if you just need us to take the work and do it for you. So I think among the nonprofit consulting agencies, that's one thing that helps to define us.
That's awesome, Sheryl, because so what the picture that I'm getting here is that you have this rich, resource-filled, and well-seasoned team.
Well-seasoned, yeah.
Of professionals that anyone can trust, that we all can trust, and
right.
And to help us, to help guide our mission-driven and our purpose-driven friends throughout the country. And because the work is so important, there's still so much to be done, and we all can, we all have to work together. Basically, is what it is as a community. So
that's true. That's true, Pon. So true.
Well, thank you so much, Sheryl, for your time, for your insight, and also for helping us to wrap our minds around, what it takes to be working with nonprofits, and how valuable that is for everybody, not just for the nonprofit and for the cause itself, but for the whole community, for all communities.
That's right.
And I just appreciate you being also passionate about storytelling. So in a very biased way, I really appreciate that.
Yeah, I do. I really do. Well, Pon, thank you so much for having me on your show today. I really appreciate it. And we will welcome you back onto ours as well. And if I can ever be of help again in the future, I'd be happy to.
I will take you up on that offer, I'm sure, at some point. We'll just have to talk about it. So thank you so much, Sheryl.
Good. All right. Thank you, Pon.
Great. And thank you, everybody. Thank you to all the viewers for spending time with us today. And stay tuned for the announcements about our next podcast for February. And we will see you again soon. Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening and letting us disrupt your day. Be sure to subscribe to our podcast. For the latest entrepreneur buzz, please sign up for our newsletter by using the link in the description. Remember, be the change you want to see in the world. Until next time.